Get your notes ready. The knowledge I'm about to share with you is so sacred, so divine. I guarantee this will be the most useful, practical, grounded guide you may ever watch in regards to rewriting your story. And not just that, life fulfillment and sustained abundance, like actually being able to hold what you've created and not just let it like slip through your fingers. The manifestation story, the trope, it's tired, it's boring, get it, but if you think you know all there is to know, I promise you, you don't. Or it's the kind of topic that makes you feel like a bit, it's not going to be one of those kind of videos. I encourage you to stay, be curious, because the tea in this video is going to be piping. Hello to my fam, welcome back, happy new year. If you're new and you just happened to float onto this video, my name is Tara and I'm so excited to make this video. My channel has been open. My favorite things to do is take wisdom teaching, spiritual learning, experience and simplify it and actually see yourself implementing it. I'm going to be condensing all of the best stuff that I know in one video as concisely as possible. There's so much more nuance that I wish I could include. There's one video you're gonna see from me today and you're new. I want it to be this one and I want to cover a lot of ground. I want you to start dreaming and building your new life consciously. What do I mean by consciously? I mean bringing so much more intention into everything that you do and also more consciousness, connecting to the ether around you, to the supportive energies and knowing how to work with them. And I know you're probably like, what qualifications does this girl have? Well, number one, my entire life has been an experiment in manifestation. I have been building a very alternative, non-conforming life for myself. I've been a freelancer since I left college. I have not followed a traditional path at all. Aside from that, I am a trained quantum hypnotherapist, so that is healing on a quantum level using a very deep form of hypnosis, aims to speak directly with the higher self, the subconscious. So I do technically work in the energetic healing space modality, in which I get to meet a lot of people, learn a lot of things, and be exposed to the wisdom of other people's souls all the time, which is so fun. All of this lived experience, my natural inclination to metaphysical topics and science and fun stuff and just playing with life and experimenting has led me to living and understanding, not just take knowledge, but how to embody it in your everyday life. Whether you're already well on your way to creating the life you desire, or you're somebody that's just feeling a little bit stuck and you don't know where to go from here, or you just want to learn how to work with ethereal energy, this is the video for you. I feel like this January is not off to a flying start. A lot of us have been sick, a lot of us have been just weighed down with different dense energies, whether it's being sick or purging or whatever it may be. The winter, the inner winter, is about rest and reflection, and that's what we're doing now. Not about beating yourself to go hit your goals, it's about what seeds you want to plant that will actually start blooming into something physical. Without further ado, let me spill this crash course, this masterclass, in no particular order, but something I really think is foundational is understanding alignment and understanding how to get yourself into flow, because that is a concept that I see thrown around, but no one exactly tells you how to do it. So I'm gonna break it down. An example that I've picked up from the wisdom teachings of others that I think hits this perfectly and really encapsulates the concept of energetic flow is this idea of inner flow and outer flow. So let's just call outer flow the universe, ether, anything spirit related, whether you work with your ancestors, your higher self, the universe, God, like whatever you believe in. Let's just call that outer flow. And over here we have us, we have inner flow, everything that's going on with us energetically. What you want to do is create a hybrid of working with the two. A lot of us are just used to working through our inner flow, which is that sort of almost more energy of force. It's the long hours, it's the girl bossing, it's the if I try more and give more, I'm going to get a result. But it also leads to a lot of burnout and you always end up hitting a ceiling with that. There's only so far you can go using purely your own energy. Hit capacity at some point. You'll always feel it when you're like, oh, if I just put in more work, I'll get more results, but then the results don't come and you're just killing yourself. Yang quality to it, like yin yang. Some people will call it masculine energies. Let's take outer flow. Now, I think if you really think about it, every day, every week, every month, every year, there is a flow to the universe. There is a flow to the energy that you feel when you wake up in a day. It is either supportive energy generally, or it's not so supportive energy. It's rest, it's action, it's creative, it's contemplation. It can be motivating or not at all. We can all feel that and sense that on a basic energetic level. I believe in work smarter, not harder, and working with those outer flow forces is a prime example of working smarter, not harder. It's about being in flow with those energetic shifts and using them to support you building your dream life. For example, January does feel like it's not very productive. What does not very productive mean? It means it's more supportive of rest. It's more supportive of reflection, because that is the energy you should be sinking into. That is the gift, that is the guide, the blueprint that is set out for you to follow in order for you to get to where you want to go faster. Yes, you can go uphill and fight against that energy, but it's exhausting. I'll use this example. You're trying to build your dream life. Well, what do you need? You need building blocks. Okay, imagine you're at one of those sushi restaurants, you know, the ones with like the conveyor belt of little bowls of food, and it's coming around and you get to pick and choose what you like, you get to pick and choose what you're going to build with next. Got a really clear vision of what you want. There's other people across the way from the bar, they're enjoying themselves. The conveyor belt of building block sushi is going around. You take one, you put it down, it's empty. You take another one down, it's empty. You're getting kind of confused, kind of frustrated. You take another one down. Shock horror, it's empty. The other people seem to be eating good because this time might be supportive of the energy that they're trying to use. So again, you take another building block, and before you know it, you have all of these empty plates that you cannot do anything with. Let's just say this day your friend told you that this wasn't a good day for sushi and it's probably not a great idea that you go to this place, but you're feeling kind of stubborn. By hook or by crook, you're like, no, I want sushi and I want it now. Now, just the plates alone can be used to build something, but they're not useful for what you want to build. They're not the building blocks that you need. So what you've ended up with is a table full of nothing. 2 or 3 months later, your friend says to you, you know what, I think now is actually a good time to go back and check out that sushi place again, give it another chance. You go in, you take your little plates off the conveyor belt, and they are one after the other. They are full with everything that you need. So that's kind of getting into flow with the outer flow, recognizing what the energy is supportive of doing right now, whether it's rest, planning, strategy, execution, grind, being less stubborn and headstrong about what you want to do on your timeline, and start working with the timeline that the universe is trying to give you, because it will get you there faster. There's something there for you to learn that you need to go forward. Then inner flow is everything that goes on internally with your energy, and that's like a river that can go through you or go around. If it's going around you, things just don't really seem to be picking up. What you want is the river to start flowing through you, for the energy to move through you and for you to work as a team together to co-create. So when you accept what's going on in the outer flow, it's going to be a lot easier for you to start collaborating and for that river to start flowing through you and for that energy to kind of start feeling aligned. Why isn't this panning out for me? And it's probably because you're not harnessing that support from the outer flow. I think it's really difficult for people to believe in something that they can't see, but energy is real, and the sooner that you accept it, the faster you can work with it to get to where you want to go. Like, it can be a completely personal journey. You don't have to share it with anyone. There are things that you cannot see with your own eyes that are real, and energy work is one of them. Your Wi-Fi, for example, you can't see your Wi-Fi, but it's connecting me and you, babe. It is floating around, having so much impact on all of us and our connections and our stories and our work and our careers. But that frequency, that bandwidth has no physicality. So it's the same with the outer flow and the inner flow. It's a frequency, you have to tune it a little bit, and that's how you get into alignment. Harnessing all of that will get you to your vision much faster and much more easily, with much more grace. Like, try and let go of the idea that everything has to be a grind to get to. It will be a healthy amount of work and dedication and passion. It will come to you with ease because you've read the energy correctly. Now, I'm assuming a lot of the people that are watching this video are familiar with manifestation lists and vision boards, and those are so good. I've only been doing the visual aspect the last like 2 or 3 years, and it's so much better than writing a list because it really places you in the scenario in your mind. And it's really important to get true clarity on what it is that you want, not just for a year, but for 5 years, for 10 years. The longer periods actually give the universe a lot more time to work on the manifestation. They can't really get too much done in a year. It's good for like smaller goals, like certain travel things and maybe some like work promotions, new habits. But for those really big things that you want, like let yourself just envision it for a second with me here now. Think of one big thing that you really see or want to bring into your future, and make the details as clear as possible. You know, if that's a business, how much is it making? If it's a house, what does it look like? If it's a family, how big is the family? Really dig in and try to visualize something specific about that vision, and then hold it. Why would the universe help you? Because everything that you desire becomes a desire of the universe. We are all interconnected. I would definitely recommend doing some kind of vision board or manifestation list that's for those longer term periods. Something I'm especially seeing with my hypnosis clients, the universe is always moving pieces in the background to try and accommodate what it is that you're asking for. And you can change it as much as you want, but I think the longer and more committed you are to a vision, the better. You know, those longer term goals I know mightn't be as detailed, but they'll definitely hold an energy or an emotional feeling that at least you can kind of hang on to. Faith and capacity have a huge role to play in that initial manifestation or that idea that you're wanting to bring in. So the faith that you can believe that it will happen to you. If you've got any resistance towards it all, sit with it, work on it, do meditations, do what you need to do the work to start believing that it is going to happen, whatever that looks like for you. And don't stop until you get there. And capacity to hold the abundance that you want to invite in is hugely important. Like, I have manifested things that are amazing to me in the past, but I've not necessarily been able to hold them for very long. So that was really eye-opening for me, and it's something that I'm working on, is expanding my energetic capacity, my physical capacity, my emotional, mental capacity to hold more, to make more room and to create a stable and sustainable container to not only receive but to hold whatever is that comes in. You know, it's like winning the lottery but then blowing it all on gambling. You don't want to be in that energy. You want to make sure you're prepared, mind, body and spirit, to hold whatever is coming in. And the series of initiations that you will go through in life on the way while you're holding your vision will prepare you for where you are going. Even though like the shit that we go through can seem so pointless and frustrating and disappointing at times, whether it's relationships, work falling through, career changes, it's all to prepare you to where you're going. And I think if more of us understood the weight of that and the gravity of whatever we're going through is to initiate us into the thing that we're asking for, we would traverse our challenges with more grace and acceptance, I think. So work on that expansion, and this is especially important for the people that are wanting to manifest very big things, let's say very successful business or like the love of your life or whatever. You have to become as big as what you're asking for. If you're somebody that plays small, how in the world are you going to get yourself into the energy of receiving something big? Like, it doesn't make sense. Really becoming the type of person that is able to receive those things. Also, let me just say, like, engaging in this video, engaging in any of the practices that I'm sharing today is a privilege. It's not a privilege that everybody has. You know, a lot of people are in survival mode. A lot of people are just trying to get through whatever challenges life is throwing you. It's not necessarily the time to manifest. Like, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But these tips are really for when you feel ready and able to take your life to the next level. Writing down your visions isn't enough. It's very surface level, it's a great start, but this video is really about how to carry through. Which brings me to my next point, is you have to let go to the life that is in conflict to what you're asking for. A lot of us don't like discomfort, and let me tell you, discomfort has been my best friend for the last year and a half. It has pushed me into so much growth, so much transformation, and it's something I now welcome in. I never thought I would, but Every time it comes up now, every time there's a challenge, a moment of spiritual awakening, emotional up-leveling, upheaval, you know, like these tower moments that just keep coming in, the hangman energy. I know now that as soon as that comes up, that is an initiation into integrating more of the person that I need to be that has the things that I want. As soon as you decide on those new visions or those new things that you're bringing in or those new focus points that you're working towards, be very vigilant. Expect the challenges to arise, expect the old people to come around, expect opportunities to do things you always did, but do them in a different way, better this time. You gotta be ready for these terror moments. You have to be somewhat accepting of the fact that if you want something very different for your life, big changes need to occur. You have to be the fool, which is just walking off the edge of the cliff, none the wiser, somehow trusting that the universe is going to catch you. Because that is part of your soul mission, is to do things that scare you, to do things that make you uncomfortable, because transformation happens under stress. Diamonds are formed under compression. So yes, I'm not saying you have to enjoy the challenges that come up, because we all know they can feel like they're breaking your mind, breaking your spirit, but just know you will find the strength to get through it, whether it's within yourself. I love to work with those outer flow energies and just ask them to support me and hold me through it the best way that they can. But the wheel of fortune always turns. You'll always end up on the other side of things. The speed at which you do so is kind of up to you and your capacity. It's the acceptance that chaos is part of the journey. It's individual to all of us. We will be presented with different things, but from chaos comes order. So if you're wishing for this beautiful manifestation and everything starts falling apart, there needs to be the chaos to get you to the order. I don't make the rules. It's a mystical law of the universe. Polarity is just the way it is. A lot of us want to see these big changes and seismic shifts in our life. Still feeling really comfortable and safe and, you know, staying in our jobs that like makes us feel financially stable, and in our relationships that make us feel safe. Here's the thing, if you were told right now, in order to have the thing you want, you have to go through this challenge, would you do it? You have to ask yourself that question. There will be sacrifices along the way, and it's up to your will and determination, and you're trusting that the universe is going to catch you and you are going to end up better off. Just sit in it. That's all you can do. Wait for the next instruction, wait for the next intuitive opportunity. It's an initiation. Like I said, initiations are hard. They're a test. Oh, I'm getting passionate. I'm getting shiny. Another very important part of holding your vision is to spend as much of your time in the energy of your vision. What I mean by that is embodying the energy that's withheld, that's encoded. All your visions will have a feeling attached to them. So what is it that you're looking for? Is it excitement? Is it safety? For most of us, it's safety, especially in relation to financial goals. So I would look at each of the things that you're asking for in the short term and the bigger, more longer term aspirations, and just work backwards in your mind to what you feel like that desire will provide you emotionally. For example, if I'm holding this idea of travel, I want to travel, I want adventure, I want to explore, that makes me really excited. That is communicating to me that right now in this moment, I desire excitement or I desire adventure. What do you do with that information? Well, you say, I need to start implementing that into my life now as much as possible. On this day or tomorrow or this week, how can I bring more excitement, energy in? What activities can I do? What mindful practices can I engage with? Do I need a new hobby? Do I need to do something fun with a friend? You have to create that energetic blueprint. Everyone gets hung up when you hear people say like, oh, to be a millionaire, you have to have a millionaire mindset. You have to live and breathe and wake up every day thinking and believing that you're a millionaire. And the fact is, you're not. Like right now, you are not a millionaire. What they mean is you need to hold the energetic blueprint of somebody that is a millionaire. It doesn't mean you have to go out and spend a lot of money or buy a flashy car in order. For every millionaire, what drives them is going to be different. That's why you can't just apply a mindset of like, oh, just act and it will happen. Of course, like no one, I think in their heart of hearts really believes that, and that's why it's kind of just seems like a silly manifestation trope. I use another big one. So many of us want a dream home. And why do we want a dream home? Because we want somewhere that we can feel safe, secure, somewhere that feels like this is just built for me, or this is my sanctuary. Okay, well then what's that attached to? That's usually attached to a sense of safety. I desire more safety because the idea of a home makes me feel very safe. Well then, okay, that's communicating to you that now, in this moment, in this time, you need to create more safety. And like for me, that comes up all the time, whether it be engaging in mindful practices, doing the damn tapping and like being, I'm saved, I'm loved, yada yada, until it sinks in, going outside, finding ways to connect to my subconscious and remind it that it doesn't need to be in survival mode. Connect to what is not making you feel safe in this current moment and try and just build as much safety as you can. Safety is going to look different for everyone. It's going to feel different for everyone. Invest the time into holding that state, because the more that you're in sort of this plus state, and I mean, or positive state, and I mean like positive and negative just plainly as dualities, not as one is better than the other. You need both. Just call you holding that energetic blueprint state as the positive. When you are in that energetic frequency, that is when you can get help from outer flow. That is when you can get help from other forces at work. And like, don't get obsessive with being over here all the time. It's a natural balance and flow. But the more of your week that you can be in here, whatever it is you got to do to get there, the more that supportive outer energy can come in and help. This is a huge one. Personal blocks. This is your shame, your fear. Shame being, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, it's never going to happen to me. It's the fear of being seen for your authentic self, the fear of being judged, the self-consciousness. It's stuff stemming from the trauma you've endured. It's your self-limiting beliefs that you picked up throughout your life that tell you that everything is hard and that there can never be ease and that things can never flow to you even when you're in a state of rest. I think on a human level, we know we are all called to transcend and heal as best as we can, navigate our way and overcome these blocks, overcome these personal challenges, these ways of thinking that are outdated or don't support where it is we're trying to go. Even though the things that have happened to you may not have been fair, they are unfortunately your responsibility now to turn into something that is useful to where you are going. I could refer to it also as shadow work, and a great place to start is where you know you need healing and also where your triggers are, because your triggers are always such a gateway to healing. Triggers and responses and reactions to things that are caused by a completely different stressful or traumatic situation, but that play out in my life in a way that I just don't prefer. So for me, and I wanted to change that, I didn't want that to be my story. So a huge part of rewriting your story is going back and tying up the loose ends, addressing things that you may not have had the chance to process in your past. And there's so much energetic memory, some things that emotionally can even come through from places that you're not at all consciously aware of, but your triggers are there to tell you that there is something to be worked on, and it's a clue, it's breadcrumbs. Keep following the breadcrumbs, and when you're ready you will know to go seek that healing, and you'll know because you'll just be like, enough is enough, like I don't want to live like this anymore. People go on all sorts of healing journeys. Like for me, last year I did a really intensive burst of EMDR therapy over 3 months, and that shifted and just dislodged so much old, yucky, stagnant stuff that I didn't get to process as a child or a teenager or a young adult. And I created a space, I seeked a space that would help me to reprocess, give me a chance to tie up those loose ends. Meditation is also like the hill that I will die on. I have a very supportive meditation coming, I think maybe early February, that will really help instill some of the lessons from this video. It'll be kind of almost like a part 2 bit of homework. But the shame is a sneaky one. I've worked with so many people and even within myself, and people don't realize they're carrying shame. Like right now for me, I'm taking a break. It's not really time for healing. It's a time of being inspired and creating. Whether it's through a therapist or an ayahuasca journey or whatever it is, that shifting and moving of stagnant energy will make space. You are a vessel, you're a container, and if it's full up of old data and junk, and you're trying to put new stuff in it and there's nowhere to go, it's not going to come in. So just make sure you're keeping that cache cleared, babes. I hear it all the time with my clients. It doesn't matter their faith, their background, their belief in grounding and moving energy. It's a constant theme that comes up that's actually very practical and mechanical in nature when it comes to how energy moves and is stored throughout our bodies. You need to ground, you need to make space, you need to let go of the old stuff and the old story that is no longer in alignment. Now, how are we going to deal with these impatient waiting periods that inevitably come when we've put all of the good juju into the universe and we just have to, you know, work with that outer flow, harness that inner flow? I think what can happen a lot is you start hyper focusing on that thing you're asking for and you get a little bit consumed by it. This is where detachment comes in. The whole point of a vision is to be able to create an energetic excitement, or like I said, safety, whatever it is, create an energy blueprint, and for you to recognize it and be able to hold it and focus more on the energy than the vision itself. So you create the vision, you create the manifestation, you see it, it's clear, specific, and you're feeling that energy warm up your heart, and you really have that mind-heart coherence, and it's making you feel all warm and all lovely. That's the point. That's the point of the vision, is just to show you what it feels like to be in that energy so that you seek the energy, not necessarily always the vision. Now, the vision usually does come with the energy, but be open to something better coming in than what you actually asked for. You might not see something that's great and it's right in front of you. The idea is just to grab onto that energy and carry it with you, like I mentioned before, throughout your day and your week as much as possible. So once you think of that vision, just drop the idea of what exactly it looks like, but hold on to the feeling. I'll give you an example. I wrote a manifestation list before I met my man, and like I got everything on there. An easy example is you're trying to manifest your dream partner and you've written a list of their characteristics, what they like to do, how you like to feel when you're in a relationship with them, traits about their personality that you might be like picking up on, like they're tall, they exude a confident energy, and that person comes along and you decide you don't like their nose or you don't like their voice. Immediately like, no, even though that person could offer you the most incredible relationship, and that little weird quirk that you cared about would go away so quickly by falling in love with them for the person that they are. Sometimes the universe will give you something better than what you asked for, but because it's not exactly like your vision, you'll think it's wrong. That's not necessarily the case. What I've observed is if you've been very specific about a vision and the universe presents you with something that is 50% right, and you're like, okay, that's almost there, but I'm gonna pass because it's not quite what I want. For example, it could be like a house that you want. You could stop at 90% and be like, you know what, this is most of the things that I asked for. It's up to you to accept that, whether that's good enough for you or not. If you want to get that 100% vision, then it might take a little longer. You might have to be a bit more patient. As they say, a kettle watched never boils. Like, you're not filling your time with being busy in other aspects of your life. If you've got enough time to be constantly hyper focused on why something isn't coming in, get on with your life. That thing may not be coming to you very fast because you're not having fun, you're not creating joy, you're not indulging in creativity and hobbies and surrounding yourself with people and opening your heart and upholding your boundaries or the promises that you made to yourself. Engage in those other things that make you more well-rounded as a person, and just be open to other magical things and journeys in the meantime. Also, divine timing. To me, divine timing is things coming to you when you are ready to receive them. So doing all of that work that we just talked about and preparing your mind, body, and spirit as much as possible. Now, in terms of like methods on how to manifest, other than what we've already addressed in terms of preparing your energy, I did a whole series over on Instagram back in May. It was called Manifestation May. You know, it's in the name, but it was a 7-part series, Instagram reel formats. They're really easily titled. You'll see them on my Reels page, on my Instagram here. There's a lot more tidbits of information, and some of these tips actually came from that series. So if you liked it, there's some extra stuff in there, how I like to manifest, how things tend to come into my life. But what I would say on this is it's different for everyone, and just look at your track record. Analyze your track record, whether it's negative things you brought into your life, positive things you brought into your life. I feel like I got so much off my chest. Shout out to our sponsors today, by the way. Squarespace, my incredible partners for most of my videos. They are the GOAT. I'm sure you've all heard of Squarespace by now, but this is your reminder that Squarespace can help you design the website of your dreams. all from the comfort of your own home. Use their incredibly responsive templates to create a professional and modern looking website to suit your needs, whether that's an online store, a blog, they're kind of big right now again, or just a place where people can find you or your services. Whatever you need, they have a flexible template for you. Everything is customizable and is made for beginners. My absolute favorite feature right now is their design intelligence, which is an AI feature. Click a few buttons and voila, which will literally create a website tailored to your needs in a matter of minutes. Like, tell me this is not gorgeous. But they also have a bunch of other features that you can easily integrate into your website to help make you more money in 2025. Features that allow you to take appointments, to designing, selling and shipping your own merch through Squarespace, along with exclusive memberships and subscription options. My audience will always get a 2-week free trial for any new website that they want to play around with, see if you like it, and of course 10% off all future billing with the code TARMER at checkout. That is all. This information comes from a very pure, loving place in my heart. So I hope that you were able to hold it and receive it now or in the future. Thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you all in the next vlog.